Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
The whole crew styling when we step out of the car. Bouncers lift the rope and the crowd goes off. 20 shots to the table, we don't even hit the bar.
I want to welcome back our audience to What's New at ArtSpeak. My name is Beverly Musey, and I am the Chief Student Correspondent for ArtSpeak. And I'll be talking with Ray Ellman, the founding editor-in-chief of ArtSpeak. Today we'll be talking about Brigitte Bibi Andrade, who we recently recorded a video conversation with. So Ray, tell us more about this interview.
Well, Beverly, first of all, it's wonderful to greet you in this new expanded role, and you've worked on many of the video conversations we've had with the wealth of talent that is both in and flows in and out of Miami. And so I know that you know what we're trying to do at ArtSpeak, and I'm so glad that you're involved with What's New. The two of us interviewed Bibi at BBC at the Biscayne Bay campus of FIU in the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media, and it was almost overwhelming to be in her presence, which is she's such a dynamic, energetic person. It always feels like she's exploding out of her skin. And the thing that's so interesting about Bibi is she attended and graduated the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York, FIT, and she started off as both a model and she started off as a being engaged in the beauty business in New York. And then she was working on projects that brought her down to Miami, because in those days, I think it was the latter part of the 20th century, the whole fashion scene down in Miami, and especially Miami Beach, was exploding. Photographers and models were coming down here to shoot images for various advertising campaigns. And Bibi was down here organizing various efforts. The thing that, and she started various businesses also. The thing that interests me about Bibi the most, especially from an art standpoint, is that she has created she's kind of taken the genre of comic books and created comic books that she now draws and illustrates that tell stories about her clients or about people of interest to her in Miami. So the one that we're most familiar with is with the Hall of Fame Grammy Award, multi-Grammy Award winning R&B legend of soul, Sam Moore, who of Sam and Dave fame, who grew up in Miami and continues to reside in Miami. And he performed on some of the most iconic songs of the late 50s, early 60s, like Hold On, I'm Coming, and When Something's Wrong with My Baby. And she created a comic book that is like a bio comic book of his life story, a central part of which is his relation with Muhammad Ali. And they actually did an excerpt of that section. Sam Moore first met Muhammad Ali in 1961, and Bibi's comic book about that relationship was presented at an event this year celebrating the 60th anniversary of Cassius Clay's defeat of Sonny Liston to gain the world championship of boxing. And you and I, Beverly, were at that event, Um, and I'm wondering if you have any thoughts about Bibi that you want to share with our audience and what's new.
Yeah, so like you said, it was a really fun and in-depth interview, being able to talk with her. And I think one of the really interesting parts of all of the interviews we do at ArtSpeak, but Bibi in particular, was provided so much insight into what her career development was like and how she started off as first a student in high school and then going to FIT, and how she really grew her personal brand, both working in the fashion industry and learning from the experts, and also expanding, using that knowledge to grow her own business. And I think it's a really valuable lesson for our other students at FIU to listen and gain that insight as to what how she was successful. Because I mean, in the era we're living in, it's all about, being able to promote yourself, establish your brand, and being able to really capture the interest of your audience, is essential. And I think that she is a perfect example of how you do that. I mean, she's just this larger than life persona, and she comes in, she's wearing her personally branded sneakers, and she's like, well, why would I wear somebody else's sneakers when I could be promoting myself? And that kind of just encapsulates her in a nutshell. And she's just such a great woman and an inspiration to really listen to.
Well, I'm glad you brought a few things to this conversation, which is one that with most of the interviews that we do, we have the opportunity to explore the full arc of our interviewees' careers. That we're not just talking about what have you done, what are you doing tomorrow, what are you doing this week. We go back. The first question we ask everybody is where did you grow up and what's your first awareness of art of any discipline, and we go from there. But also I like what you just said, that how Bibi has grown with the times and understands the notion of brand, and especially in this particular era with the dominance of social media, branding is such a big deal. And so that's great. So I'm glad we had the chance to have this conversation.
Yes,
And
it's always a pleasure to talk, and I'm looking forward to future conversations.
thank you so much, Beverly, and I'll see you the next time.